just of the people in this room, how many of you are concerned about the specter of Alzheimer's in your own life, in your family? How many of you are concerned about the rates of Alzheimer's that are expected to triple in the next generation in this country? How many of you are concerned about heart disease or cancer or diabetes or other chronic illness? Okay. How many of you are concerned about the treatment of animals in our factory farms today? How many of you are concerned about our climate and our water and our air? Thank you. How many of you are concerned about doctors not learning about nutrition in medical school? Okay, thank you. How many of you are concerned about government policies that don't seem to fully get everything we need to have them get about food and healthy food? Okay. How many of you think you know why I'm asking all these questions? Surprising number of hands go up. Because it's all connected. And here's the thing, every bite we take and every food dollar we spend is actually a vote. You're voting for the health you want, and you're voting for the world you want. And this is a vote you don't just make at the ballot box once a year. This is a vote you make 3 times a day or more every day of your life. And cumulatively, these votes have an enormous impact. And we literally shift the course of history, of our own destiny, with our food choices. So how big is the impact of our food choices? Well, the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation conducts a report every year. They look at the major causes of death and disease all around the world, analyzing data in over 100 countries. This is a team of dozens of researchers that work on this full-time. In the most recent report, they concluded that in the United States, the modern diet is the single largest cause behind the deaths of 672,000 Americans every year. Which means that more Americans died from what we're eating than died in World Wars I, II, both Iraq wars, Afghanistan war, Vietnam war, Korean war combined. All in 1 year. Only this time the enemy isn't guns or bombs or an enemy. It's our own knives and forks and what we're doing with them. In the United States, we spend about $3.5 trillion every year, 19% of our entire gross domestic product, on what we call medical care. But you know and I know it's not caring for health or medicine, it's actually disease symptom management. You see, over 70% of that spending is on chronic illness. Not like you fall and break a bone and you go to the doctor and get a cast. It's like you're taking drugs day in and day out, managing symptoms day in and day out for a chronic ailment that, according to this system, persists for the rest of our lives. So we have more and more and more and more people living chronically ill. The average senior is given 10 prescription drugs every year. More and more of us are dealing not only with the impact of sickness, but the impact of drugs that we take to deal with the impact of that sickness, and the impact of the drugs we take to deal with the symptoms of those drugs in a never-ending cascade. How many of you can relate to this? We've seen it in our families, right? So, the good news is that we can turn this around. Because as bad as things have gotten, that's how much better they can be with a change. And what I find so exhilarating is that we now have an overwhelming body of data from tens of thousands of studies published in peer-reviewed medical journals, which tell us conclusively and clearly that when we eat the right food choices and we practice certain basic diet and lifestyle choices, we can radically transform all of this. We have seen conclusively that we can prevent or reverse most cases of heart disease. It's the #1 killer, killed 14 million people on planet Earth last year. Over half of all American adults are expected to have heart disease in their lives. And we can prevent or reverse 80 to 90% of those cases just with changes to diet and lifestyle.